The question is, of course, what is it about them precisely? So I will focus more on this like broader program because it's new and it will start also very soon. So again, the goal was to equip participants with a comprehensive knowledge and tools to navigate the Corporate Sustainability Reporting Directive and also related EU regulations. What do we mean by that? Through the conversations with Rebecca in the company, but also other players, we have realized that even though the European Supply Chain Act has been reduced in the complexity, there is a lot of intertwinement between CSRD, EU taxonomy, and other regulations like the EU Supply Chain Act or the CSDDD, as it's called in the abbreviation. And so the supply chain topics, nevertheless, are somehow interrelated with the CSRD as well. So we need to take into account different types of regulatory frameworks to really provide you with a solid background so that your setup is state of the art. And that is why we say, okay, yes, CSRD is more pressing because it's in force right now. For the CSDDD, it takes a little bit longer, maybe still, but at the same time, there's a lot of intertwinement with supply chain aspects, because if you don't understand your supply chains, you are limited in the impact that you will have with your sustainability actions. Now, what is the program about and what are the components? So we have conceptualized the program in a way that we have 3 on-site and 3 online modules. So I think it's fair to say that's the first course of this kind at IDC that is happening for a longer period of time with breaks in between. And that is like a whole course in itself. So we have an on-site module that is starting in May. We have an on-site module in June and in October. And in between, we have an online get-together also in June after the first module that is taking place on-site. In July, also an online one, and in September. So we always proceed in a way that we have an on-site module where we have 2 days together to spend on a topic. Then we have a debriefing, or let's say a break of usually 3 to 4 weeks. Then we get together online for half a day to discuss the questions and what has happened in, let's say, in the meantime, so to say, after you got the first knowledge input on site. And that is the iterative fashion, how we designed the course, because talking to Rebecca, working with other companies, we have seen that it takes time to digest all of this knowledge and to push the process forward in the company. What I have seen as a lecturer and also attending seminars myself, it's sometimes very nice to have this input and then you're back to reality, so to speak, and then nothing happens. Sometimes, not always, but sometimes it is the case. And with this course, we hope at least to avoid this so that we can send you home with, let's say, some homework, that you come back, talk about the challenges, we discuss a couple of more questions, you get the second input, you come back with more questions, so that we really have a longer period of 6 months to spend together and really work on the implementation. So I don't want it to be just a knowledge seminar and webinars. I want you to really take this forward and implement this in practice. So we have designed it particularly for this reason to be a face-to-face and also online learning experience. We have a practical assignment, so it will be very, very hands-on. Yes, of course, we have to start with a little bit of theory, but that will be rather very, very brief. And then we go into, let's say, templates, toolkits, examples on how you can do, for example, materiality assessment. How can we do a stakeholder survey? What are the different steps? And then we have feedback sessions, and also in between, I would make sure to rope in experts such as Rebecca, who can really share their experience on how they did it. What were the issues? What were maybe success factors? And again, the topics will be, on, let's say, something such as sustainable leadership and strategy development in a way that we say, okay, you have a foundation already. What are the building blocks now that you want to rope in? Will that be, for example, something like a circular economy, and you need to implant it into your strategy? So these are all the outcomes of the materiality matrix. And that is the, let's say, the input in the first course. How can we make your business model that you already have and turn it into a sustainable business model. We will go into tools such as Sustainable Business Model Canvas and also others to really get you up to speed from a strategy perspective and provide you with the background in May. In June, for the on-site session, we will go into the measurements so that I provide you a very, very, let's say, condensed overview of what are the different components of the CSRD. So ecology, social factors, governance factors. So for ecology, we have, for example, climate aspects, we have pollution, we have water topics, we have circular economy, we have biodiversity. For the social aspects, we have the own workers, we have the value chain workers, we have the consumers, and we have the affected communities. And for governance, we have the business conduct. So this is the comprehensive setup of the CSRD, nevertheless, also very much representative of what, let's say, the sustainability building blocks are about anyways, so regardless of the CSRD. And these will be aspects, including also later on in the third component, on-site component, the corporate communication, maybe some activism steps from your corporate perspective, and then also, of course, the reporting, how this can be done. Yeah, as I said, I'm looking very much forward to driving this together with you. And again, the program faculty, I will do it together with a colleague of mine, with Lisa. She's also a practitioner herself. Both of us have an academic, but also a practitioner background. She's a very, very strong expert in sustainable supply chains. And we are very, very much looking forward to doing this together with you. Here's the contact details also from our program managers and who are the kind supporting forces behind all of the courses that we conceptualize.